Hi everyone, this is Nina from Raphaela Soul Sessions. How are we all doing? I'm just checking out the recording here because it's been screwing up a couple of times. Trying to jump on and speak to you, and I'm like, but yeah, it seems to be working now. Hi. I know I've been away again for a little while. I don't ever mean to leave my channels kind of hanging, but life, like just life. There's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot going on individually. There's so many people that are just there's big stuff happening everywhere I turn. There's big stuff happening in our individual lives, and obviously in the bigger scale, like. It's a lot. I was kind of off over Christmas, and sort of most of December I was flat out. Some kind of illness. My daughter's been ill on and off. Kids just bring things home from childcare all the time. They're just always bringing little bugs home and stuff. So she's been off. So it's been really hard to get the headspace to do videos and things, but it's also been really hard to actually keep my schedule as it's supposed to be, because it's like things are changing all the time. It's hard to get a clear run. And there's been some kind of really sort of triggering and stressful stuff coming up. For those of you who know my story will know about my daughter and her birth injuries and our struggles after she was born and things. Well, that's kind of catching up with us again now, just as she's on the cusp of starting school. She has some challenges, and she's going to need some extra help in the future, so we're trying to very much get that help in place. But obviously with all that going on, I absolutely am still completely devoted to this work and my clients and all of that, and I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, but it's it's been a really challenging time and quite a triggering time. There's been some grief. There's been some grief over the things that happened 5 years ago when all of that unfolded. Things that maybe I'd been keeping hold of that I needed to process and release. So yeah, that's been kind of where I've been. And you guys know I'm all about being authentic, so I might as well just be completely honest and share all that with you. It's a lot of pressure being a single mum and having a little one who is so magical, but at the same time does have extra needs and needs some additional assistance. It can be, a lot. But I did a session just at the weekend there, and it really just reminded me exactly why I do what I do, and why I'm here, why this is my job, and that I absolutely need to keep going and just get through this time and know that with everything that's unfolding, it's all just it's doing what it's doing because it needs to get us where we need to be. So so I have, amongst all of this, done a few really beautiful sessions and started work with some new lovely clients, and I have a few clients on my mentorship program, which is fantastic, because right at the start of this year, after being off ill for a bit, I kind of asked my team, I was like, so what is this year? What are we doing? What is this year? And they said, this is the year of the mentorship. And right after that, it was like mentorship. They kept coming in, and I was like, oh, okay, it really is the year of the mentorship, isn't it? So, and I'm so happy about that, because I mean, I adore these sessions as single sessions. They're so wonderful. And a lot of my clients do have more than one session, and, know that this is a really beautiful and useful tool to have. And just like we go for a checkup in every other area of our lives, these sessions can be like a checkup for the soul. So, I have a number of clients who work with me fairly regularly, but actually the clients who have really dedicated to the mentorship program and actually made that investment in their expansion and healing and growth, like what they get out of that is just, I can't put it into words. It's so amazing to watch the rapid growth from the client's first session to when they have their final session, and in between, being able to be with them during that process as they're integrating and help them through that process, and see where they're being guided to next. And that really, the healing from the very first session that they've booked to the last session, the healing doesn't stop through that whole time. The journey doesn't stop through that, through those whole months, because as they release all of these things that hold them back, that connection to spirit and that connection to the universe and the synchronicities and the beauty that unfolds and the release that unfolds, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch it happen from my perspective, but also for my clients. It's so beautiful. And so, yeah, I hope this year will continue to be the year of the mentorship, because they're really amazing. And the other thing I really love about these mentorships is that, I work with a lot of people who are quite interested in the work and think they maybe want to do the work themselves. And I have reached my hand out to quite a few of these lovely, lovely souls and given them a lift up into the work. It seems to be one of my things that I do. Almost every single client that I connect with these days asks me if I teach. And I'm like, no, I don't have a specific method that I teach, but I can coach and mentor new practitioners through these mentorships, and like through the work and through the sessions, and mentor them and help build their practice through the mentorships. So when I get a client who's having their own healing journey along with, bringing them into the work, it's just my heaven, because I get to talk about the work, and that's a lot of fun for me. So yeah, I'm really, really excited that there's a lot more energy happening with this quantum evolution mentorship program. The two that I've got going, so I can do 3 sessions or 5 sessions with the coaching in between each session, and they're just so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And just to see the growth between each session, and I usually like to leave around a month or so between each session, just so that the client can really integrate. It's just so beautiful to see. It's lovely. So yeah, I've been doing those. I did a really lovely session like a month ago. I don't even think a month ago. It was sooner than that. But it was funny because I was pulling the cards. I pull oracle cards before each session, and I was pulling the cards beforehand. And one of my decks has a card that's called You've Got the Love. And of course, when that card came out, I could hear that song, You've Got the Love, you know, the song that's playing at the start or the end of Sex and the City, the movie, or that version was just like in my head. And I was like, oh, I have to go and listen to that. And the initial one that I clicked on was the Florence and the Sheen version. I clicked on to start playing it, and it was like, no, not that one. You have to put on this one, which is the original version. And of course, that's by, sorry, my child's here. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Having a little one at home, they need to use the bathroom sometimes. So I had to go and sort that out. Where was I? So I was talking about this right before this session when I was pulling these cards for my client. This You've Got the Love card came out, and then I just, like, that song was in my head. And of course, yeah, so I played the Florence and Machine one, and my team was like, no, it's not this one. It's not, it needs to be the one that you heard on Sex and the City. I'm like, okay. It's like 1991 or something like that. It's from, and so I found it and I clicked on it, and of course it's called The Source. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, I get it, guys. Source love, like abundant love, like beautiful, pure source love. And then they completely love bombed me. It was just like pure, oof, I could feel it. I was laughing, I was crying, it was just pure joy. And they were showing me all this love that this client has within their heart, and that they've had to suppress their whole life because of their life and because of the experience they had in their life. And I really love it when our teams work together and are able to show me parts of my clients that maybe my clients aren't able to express. Like before a session like that, it's really powerful and really beautiful. But I was like proper giddy and just full of so much love before we connected. And her session was really lovely, really amazing. So I hope she is integrating well, and I look forward to catching up with her again soon, because that was good fun. What else did I want to talk about? Let's see. So I don't know if I mentioned on my YouTube channel, but I've mentioned elsewhere that I was going to be doing a radio show, and I was. However, that has come to an abrupt end. I decided that this just wasn't in alignment. I felt that the service just did not match what had been advertised. I felt that I was investing a lot into something which really wasn't giving me anything in return. And it was just a case of too little, too late. And being in the situation I'm in, doing the work I do, being a single parent, all of that, I need to work with people that I trust. I need to work with people who are open, honest, transparent, have integrity, and I wasn't seeing that. So yeah, I needed to call a halt on all that. So there will not be a radio show. However, I did feel really called to reach out and see if there was other practitioners or other healers out there in our quantum healers community that maybe wanted to collaborate. And I got quite a good response from that. There's the possibility that some may want to collaborate with me, so we can create some content for our platforms. So that could be in the near future. There could be some nice videos with some lovely collaborations where we get to talk about all kinds of things that are relevant right now. And that's perhaps what needed to happen. I maybe needed to make that reach out to the community so I could connect with other amazing souls that do this work and have amazing perspectives. It also helped me start compiling the messages from the higher selves of my clients and my own higher self. Some of my favorite messages that have come through. I created a show that has not been aired, and I will be posting it here on this channel. And that has some of my favorite messages and really relevant messages for right now, and some information about some sessions and things. So I'll be posting that soon. But it really made me start compiling those messages from the higher self that I share on my social media. And just to sit in their energy when you read them and you read them aloud and you hear the words, and there's an energy that comes through with the words, as I know because I get to listen to them in real time as they come through. There's definitely an energy that comes through when they're spoken, but also I think when people read them. So yeah, who knows? Maybe there's something in there. There's something about me compiling these messages, because it's so helpful to have that higher perspective, especially when the world is going through this massive shift as it is. I did a session for one of my mentorship clients the other day. In fact, that was the video before this one, was the attachment release, releasing the fear one. She's one of my mentorship clients, and that was her second session. And I did that one over the weekend, and it was, such a beautiful, beautiful session. So many amazing moments. We call it finding treasure. Every time she goes into a session and we find an aspect of herself that she can re-embody, and whenever she releases something, we can re-embody something, and it's like we call it finding treasure, and we totally found the treasure this time. It was great. And she had a moment where she started reintegrating the confidence she had from another lifetime where she was an energy worker, and she worked with a blue grid that spanned the world. And when she was talking through this lifetime, this part of her sort of came through, and she was able to re-embody the confidence that she had as she had been as this energy worker. And she was just kind of laying there like, oh my God, that feels amazing. Here I am. Here's that part of me I'd forgotten about. So that was really beautiful. And there was also a really lovely, there was a kind of a theme with that session, because, and it's the same with a lot of sessions, that there are messages that are so intertwined with the collective energies as well as the client's individual healing journey. But this one had so many sprinklings of collective energies that were coming through. I actually posted one. Hang on, I'll get it up. It was on my Facebook page. Excuse me whilst I find it. I'll just pause this a sec. Okay, so I found it, so I will share it with you. So it was about darkness and dark energies. And she said, it's not that the world is without darkness, but the darkness can now be used as it is meant to be used. We are supposed to have discomfort in order to move us to where we are meant to go, like magnets, but the darkness has no magnetism. You can use the polarization to your advantage. These dark energies can be utilized for the purposes of movement, not detriment. This is energy mastery. Dark energy on Earth has no power. It is there to be used much like a tool in a toolbox. You can use these energies to lift you higher. Just look at the Canadian truckers and their movement. They're using the darkness to elevate the world. It is a tipping point. There is enough momentum now that you will see all of the poppers and snaps and ropes that have tied humanity down for so long coming loose. And we, humanity, we are so big. We are so big. The dark energy has flipped and humanity is levitating. So I love that message. I thought that was really beautiful. And you know, it's funny that when her higher self was talking about the poppers and the snaps coming loose, because that was exactly what came through in my very own session from a couple of weeks ago. There was this, I got a really similar message about this push of, you know, the more that dark energy does its thing, the more people awaken and the more people rise up and are stronger and are able to stand their ground. And I use that exact same analogy of the snaps, the poppers coming off, and just like one by one, just being popping off. And yeah, I thought that was quite funny. I can't remember if it was the same message or if it was like something within my system that was being popped off. I need to re-listen to this session, but there was something that was all intertwined in that same energy. It was really cool. So the final message that I want to share with you is a message from, in fact, I think this was I can't remember who said, oh no, it was my own session. It was my session. As a message from the higher self from my own session, which was the Friday the 28th of January, which was the day before the truckers arrived in Ottawa. So this was just really amazing to have had this message come through the day before that sort of weekend happened, because the energies from the session were so spot on. And this was what my higher self said about the energies that weekend. So there's a layer of peace beginning to expand across the globe, because a lot of you now know you've got this, and that all that really needs to be done now is to allow the earth and humanity's natural unfoldment and alignment. So many of you have been longing, waiting, needing, starved of a glimmer of light, some kind of confirmation that yes, this is happening. And many of you can now see that yes, there is light. You are that light. Knowing that ultimately the power is really held within the human collective. That's what's not being talked about amongst the human collective right now is how wonderful it all is and how wonderful you all are. Of course, there's ickiness and darkness that needs to come up, roll itself out, let itself be seen so that you, humanity, can choose to release it. But see how much creativity, joy, love, humor, intelligence we are weaved into the process. That should not only be acknowledged, but it should be celebrated. The power and glory of the human spirit, and to the power from our mother, Earth, the rising of the masculine and feminine balancing. Gaia has said no. And that energy is coming up through and is being expressed through all of you in various ways and on various levels. That energy needs to continue to be cultivated, nurtured, and taught to the next generation. The energy felt within the human body when you see examples of humanity standing up and awakening, trust it, lean into it. Trust the energy you feel. The dark energies are not going to bow out gracefully. They have plans that they wish to implement as quickly as possible. They, however, do not hold the power that you all hold, for you have hearts, as does the earth. And just as Gaia is a divine galactic being, as are all of you, that cannot be taken from any of you. Yes, more turbulence is ahead, but ultimately it will only feed that divine sacred power you hold within. Each event will continue to strengthen and fuel your light and the inevitable shift in consciousness. That's how all of this has been designed. So that session was beautifully facilitated by my soul sister and beautiful friend, Natalie Teixeira from Montana, who is an amazing BQH practitioner and just such a beautiful soul. So thank you, Natalie, for facilitating, bringing through that lovely message and facilitating for me, because it was much needed. So yeah, that's my message for today. I hope I've not blabbered on for too long. Excuse the interruptions. This is my life. If you have enjoyed this video and you enjoy my energy and you feel called to reach out or to work with me, then you can get in touch through www.raphaelasoulsessions.com. You can email me. You can have a consultation with me. I do 15 minutes for free or an hour for a small fee. And yeah, you can just check out my website and see the services that I have to offer. And I would be more than happy to assist you on your journey. This is such an amazing and powerful and empowering time right now. And I look forward to the journeys ahead. And I will be back very, very soon. I'm not going to leave it too long this time with some more content for you. I'm sending you all of my love, all of my positive energy, and just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in this time. And thank you for watching. Okay, speak soon.